Welcome. This is our fourth Dharma Spotlight series, which is an initiative of HMSC and VHPA, designed to highlight the dharmic organizations um, across North America and the meaningful work that they are doing in our communities. So today's spotlight is on Hindu University of America, and this session will focus on showcasing the outstanding impact of the university, its vision and its contribution to Hindu studies and community education. So my name is Anita Gupta and I have been actively involved with HMSC and VHPA for over a decade and currently serving as the co-convener of HMSC. So it is my honor to be your host for today's Dharma Spotlight series. Some housekeeping rules. Please mute yourself for the duration of the presentation. We will have Q&A session at the end of the presentation, and then you can unmute yourself. So we will begin this program with a short prayer, which will be led by Prisha Atnikar, a talented 8th grade student whose interests beautifully bridge academics and Hindu traditions. With a strong passion for science and mathematics, Prisha is equally dedicated to the classical Indian dance form Kathak and the study of Bhagavad Gita. In 2025, she earned a gold medal in Dallas, Texas for her remarkable achievement of memorizing and reciting the Sampurna Bhagavad Gita in just 3 hours. It's an extraordinary accomplishment. Please join me in welcoming Prisha. Prisha?
Thank you. Namaste. So, do I start the shloka?
Yes, please.
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ गीताध्यानश्लोकाः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् ॐ श्रीकृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः. Thank you.
Thank you, Prisha, for that beautiful opening prayer. And now it is my honor to welcome Shri Kalyan Vishwanathan ji, President of Hindu University of America, to speak with us about the university and its outstanding impact on the community. To give a background about Kalyanji, so Kalyanji serves as the president and board member of HUA and also teaches in the Community Education Division. He holds a master's degree in computer and information sciences from the Ohio State University and a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering from BITS Pilani, India. For over 21 years, Kalyanji has studied Hinduism through the Advaita Vedanta lens under the guidance of Pujya Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji. He is also the founder and president of the Sanatan Dharma Foundation and previously served as president of the Dharma Civilization Foundation from 2018 to 2021. Through his leadership, he has played a key role in advancing the academic study of Hindu Dharma globally. Welcome, Kalyanji, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you all. Namaste to everybody. I would like to begin today by recalling the critical role that Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America played in the founding of Hindu University of America. Hindu University of America was registered as an entity on Vijayadashami Day of the year 1989. And there were 4 people who were involved in the initial creation of this Hindu University of America. They might be names some of you might remember. Dr. Mahesh Mehta from Boston was the key instrumental figure in the founding of Hindu University of America. He was joined by Dr. Ram Prakash Agarwal from Miami, Florida, by Dr. Deen Dayal Khandelwal from Orlando, Florida, and Sri Abhinav Dwivedi from Orlando, Florida. And the 4 of them founded this university in the year 1989. I don't know. How many of you know this already? It's all old news for you, or just give me some feedback in the chat window, okay? Is this something you all know already, or is it new information? Okay. If it's new information, say it's new information, okay, in the chat. Now, I heard that the inspiration for the creation of Hindu University of America came from one Swami Tilak. I heard it from several people who were associated with this university. This Swami Tilak is not so well known. How many of you know Swami Tilak, or you knew of Swami Tilak? Can you say in the chat, I know Swami Tilak. If you know Swami Tilak or know of him, just say, I know Swami Tilak. Very few don't know, right? Most people don't know. So Swami Tilak was he was apparently a very dynamic Swami. And he used to travel in South America, in North America, and in Spain. He was very fluent in the Spanish language. And he had a lot of following in Caribbean islands, in South America, in North America, and in Spain. And he was the inspiration. He was the one in the early 80s, 1980s to mid 80s, that he was talking about the creation of a university like this, Hindu University of America in North America. And unfortunately, Swami Tilak died at a very young age in a car accident in Spain. I understand that it happened in the mid 80s, around 1985, around that period. He passed away very prematurely when he was still quite a young Swami. But his wish and desire to create this university manifested in the year 1989 on Vijayadashami Day. Now, on the same day, you know, October 13th, 1989, on the same day, another very important Hindu organization was founded in North America. Does anybody know which one that is? Take a guess if you know somebody. Very important organization. Was founded in US. Hindu organization. You can type it in the chat or you can speak it also. Anybody know?
Hindu Student Council?
No.
No.
The Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh, HSS.
Okay.
HSS was founded in North America on the same day, 1989, Vijayadashami Day, October 13th. Both HUA and HSS were founded on the same day. In fact, whereas in India, RSS preceded the formation of Vishwa Hindu Parishad, in North America, it was Vishwa Hindu Parishad that predates the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh. HSS came later on. Okay, and of course, Dr. Mahesh Mehta was instrumental in the creation of both the organizations, HSS also and HUA also. Okay. So this is a very important, piece of information. And HUA had a long run. So some background noise. Can we mute them?
Yeah, it has been muted.
Okay, good. Now, this university, Hindu University of America, it had a very good period, flourishing period in the early 2000s under the leadership of one Dr. K.C. Gupta, Kuldeep C. Gupta. And he was a very committed, dynamic leader. He was president for about 5 or 6 years in the early 2000s. And the university really developed and advanced very well during that period. From 89 to 2000, it was doing, the university was largely doing conferences, it was doing occasional retreats and classes. It had not systematically begun. And it really acquired a lot of momentum when two things happened. One was, most of you know this person, Brahmaratan Agarwal from Orlando. He granted Hindu University of America about 11 acres of land. And the first, the first, emergence of a campus happened in the early 2000s. And Kuldeep C. Gupta joined HUA in around the early 2000 time frame, and the university acquired a lot of momentum. But unfortunately, as life turned out, Kuldeep C. Gupta also suddenly passed away due to a heart attack prematurely in around 2006 or so. And that was a major setback for the university. Of course, I have been able to reconstruct all this history by talking to many people. I didn't know K.C. Gupta myself. I didn't know Swami Tilak. I did I had the privilege of meeting Mahesh Mehtaji a couple of times. You have to mute. I don't know what we can do to mute all and then unmute only me. Okay, is it possible? Okay. Now, after K.C. Gupta's passing, there was a period of instability in the organization, in HUA. A new president by the name Dr. T.R.N. Rao took over as president, but he lasted only a couple of years. And then other presidents came and left, and Mahesh Mehtaji tried to revive it. Now fast forward, I want to come forward to the year 2013. In the year 2013, I happened to be in the ashram of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. in Coimbatore in India, and I stayed there for about 5 days. And I had by this time I had had a very long association with Swamiji, and he, I think he was guiding me in many ways. And I really looked up to him. I considered him my guru. I'm very fortunate to have him as a guru. I've had many conversations personally, one on one with him. And in the year 2013, in the month of January, I believe, I was at the ashram, and every morning for 5 days, he would invite me to have breakfast with him. And every morning we discussed only one topic, and that was, how to create space for the academic study of Hinduism. And at that time, in the year 2013, I had just joined an organization called Dharma Civilization Foundation, which was started by Dr. Manohar Shinde. Many of you might know him, Manohar Shinde ji from Los Angeles. And Manohar Shinde ji was very keen on creating academic study of Hinduism opportunities in mainstream universities. So in the year 2013, I was already the executive vice president of Dharma Civilization Foundation. Over several years, 2, 3 years from DCF, we had engagements with University of California, Los Angeles, University of California, Irvine, University of California, Riverside, Claremont Lincoln University in Los Angeles, Graduate Theological Union in Berkeley, California, at Rutgers University and Ghent University in Belgium, at least 6 or 7 universities. We were working with them, Hunter College in New York, and so on. Now, as I sort of explained to Swamiji what we were doing and what kind of opportunities we were working with, etc., Swamiji brought up Hindu University of America. And he seemed very, very keen that we should revive this university, that Hindu University of America should be rejuvenated, should be revived, should be reconstituted, should be, brought back to life. And really, it should be a very respectable institution for the Hindu community. This was Swami Dayananda Saraswati's wish and desire. And he kept kind of indicating to me, you should do it. You should take it up. You should do it. You're the right person to do it. You should do it. Now, unfortunately, at that time, I was not ready for that conversation. I had inadvertently, I had been uh, drawn into working on creating Hindu study spaces for Hindu studies in mainstream American universities. Okay. Then in the year 2015, we had this massive breakdown in Los Angeles. Massive breakdown. Okay. And just to give you a very brief idea, what happened was that Dharma Civilization Foundation had negotiated with the University of California, Irvine, and we had signed a gift agreement in which we means DCF along with a couple other organizations, we committed to invest or donate $6 million to UCI. And UCI had committed to contribute another $6 million to create a $12 million Center for India Studies. Believe it or not, the deal was done. The paperwork was complete. The documents had been signed. Legal approvals had been completed. It was signed personally by the president of the University of California system, who at that time was Janet Napolitano. And some of you may know Janet Napolitano was a very important figure in the past US administration. She was secretary of something. I don't know what she was, but she was a secretary in the administration. And it was a very big deal. The person who shepherded the deal from UCI side was the dean of the College of Humanities. And on 5th, I believe it was 5th December 2015, we had a celebratory event at the UCI premises where about 250 members of the Hindu community from Los Angeles had come together. Swami Sarvapriyananda was a keynote speaker. Most of you know Swami Sarvapriyananda from Ramakrishna, the Vedanta Society. And Manoj Shindeji was there, Professor Shiva Bajpai was there, and I was there. Many other community members, senior community members were there. It was a wonderful occasion. 2 days later, a petition was launched by a person by the name Ali Ulumi. Ali Ulumi is a Muslim, a student at UCI. And he wrote an online petition basically saying, are our campuses safe anymore? Okay, that was a question mark. Are our campuses safe anymore? And then the petition basically said, the Hindus are being allowed to come into the UCI campus. I mean, the UCI is not doing its due diligence properly. These people are all fanatics. The Hindu RSS people, HSS people, all these people are coming in, and we cannot allow this. We have to protest this. Sorry. Yeah. So, and this petition, within a matter of 24 hours, it garnered over 500 signatures. Who are the signatories? It was a who is who in the academic establishment, in the liberal arts, humanities, and social science. You had people like Professor Sheldon Pollock from Columbia University, Wendy Doniger from University of Chicago. You had Jeffrey Kripal from Rice University, Paul Courtwright from Atlanta, one university in Atlanta, David Gordon White from UC Santa Barbara, and on and on. 500 signatures, 500 professors, faculty members in the humanities and social sciences were adding their name to this objection, saying that you cannot allow the Hindus to come into UCI. And so fast forward, what happened was the UCI then launched an inquiry into the whole matter. They set up a committee to investigate what had happened. The committee was headed by one of our own, a person by the name Dr. Vinayak Chaturvedi. And the committee consisted of Vinayak Chaturvedi, Kavita Phillips, there was one Patel also, and then one South Indian guy, Radhakrishnan, all Indians. And they were dead against this Hindu thing coming into UCI. And they didn't invite us, and it was a one-sided, ridiculous kangaroo court type of inquiry. And then they delivered a final judgment in which they said, the final judgment was, we can allow the Jains and Sikhs to come into this university, but we cannot allow the Hindus to come into this university. And the whole project was scrapped. And whatever money we gave to them till that point, which is a token deposit, was returned to us. This happened in the year 2015. And I personally was interviewed in the news media, in the papers. I was misquoted and misrepresented and painted as some sort of a horrible human being, how we are portrayed in the media, right? And it was a wake-up call for me. It was a massive wake-up call. This happened, I'm telling you, this happened in December of 2015. Swami Dayananda Saraswati had passed away in September of 2015, only 2 months before. And in the aftermath of this kind of disaster, PR disaster in UC Irvine, I just sat down thinking about recalling the conversation with Swami Dayananda Saraswati when he had told me, we are better off creating our own institution now. The mainstream academia is not ready for us. You will be more successful if you work on our own institution, not in the mainstream universities. Okay. Now, just to be also, uh, uh, inclusive here, Rajiv Malhotra had given us the same message, but in his own style. He said, you guys are all idiots. You don't know what you're doing. If you consulted me, I would have given you proper guidance. Uh, net is 2016 was a year of reflection. Nothing happened. We just all sort of we were very disappointed with the outcome. And one of the principal donors, Dr. Ushakant Thakkar, who had committed substantial amount of money towards this project, he sent 3 of his children to UCI. And he said in the meeting, in the celebratory function, he spoke and he said, I am so happy to contribute to the creation of this India Center at UCI because 3 of my children went to UCI. And I've come so many times to drop my kids off here and go back, during their undergraduate years. And it's a great honor for me to be part of this. And I loved doing this and so on. And in the end, he was painted to be an extremist, a Hindu extremist fanatic. And he was a celebrated doctor, surgeon. He had contributed $1 million to some hospitals. He had a very good reputation. It was dragged under the mud. And he was shocked. He could not understand how. How can this happen? And that is sort of the first time I would say I came face to face with the entrenched hostility of Western academia against the Hindus. And it was a sobering experience. It's like, my God, how can they be so much intense hatred against the Hindus? And uh, understanding this, what happened, and assimilating it is what slowly led me to um, the idea that the DCF should refocus its energies on rejuvenating and revitalizing Hindu University of America instead of trying to keep doing what it was trying to do at that time, which is create Hindu studies spaces in mainstream academia. By the way, during my tenure at DCF, we also created a Center for Dharma Studies at the Graduate Theological Union, GTU. GTU.edu. If you all go there, you will see that there is a Center for Dharma Studies there. It's still running. And that came out of a lot of work on our part with the guidance of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So, fast forward now, 2019. In 2018, we did some due diligence on Hindu University of America. We looked at its history. So I studied 18 years of its tax returns. I interviewed several people from the past who had been associated with Hindu University of America. I consulted with 3 or 4 past presidents, past donors, people who were very disappointed with HUA. I even met Vishwa Hindu Parishad. The president at the time was, I believe it was Abhay Asthanaji. We went to his house. We had a lot of discussion with him. We met Swami Vigyanandaji and several people from Vishwa Hindu Parishad just to understand what to do with this, what will work, what will not work, and so on and so forth. So, I'm giving you this backstory, okay? The reason is there has been a tremendous struggle on the part of the Hindu community to set up a university in the United States of America. And that struggle has largely, it's largely kind of collapsed again and again. It collapsed again and again. They tried it, they stood something up and it collapsed. We tried something and it collapsed. We tried something again, it collapsed. So it is in this backdrop of intense struggle, okay, over nearly 30 years of trying to create a space for the academic study of Hindu Dharma, that we must now contemplate what has happened in the last 7 years. Okay. I left my job and joined Hindu University of America on April 1st of 2019. Okay. And I've just completed on March 31st, 2026. I've completed 7 years at HUA as its president. Now, I'm going to take you through a few slides now. Okay. And all of that was background. I mean, you may wonder why so much background? Why not just go straight to the slides? But I thought you will enjoy and appreciate the immense struggle, that our community has gone through over the last 3 decades. Of course, you know, that, you all know, to build the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, it was a 500 years plus struggle. So there is a inherent to our community all over the world, even in Bharat, we have to struggle. We have to struggle. It's not easy. Okay. Yeah. So there are many questions here in the. Did anyone analyze why there is such intense opposition to Hindu studies within USA? Neeraj Joshi ji, you know, I will create the background, the analysis very, very vividly in my orientation to Hindu studies course, because there's a lot to cover. It's not an easy question, it's not a simple answer. Why is there so much intense opposition to the Hindu studies? It's important that we Hindus understand where is this hostility coming from. Because, we must also recognize that our younger generation, born and raised in America, despite our best efforts to inculcate Sanatana Dharma in their life, we end up losing them at a certain point in their lives when they go into middle school. When they are about 13, 14, 15 years of age, and as they finish high school and go into college, uh, a lot of our younger generation, they decide that Hinduism is just a thing of the past. It's relevant only for our older generation. It's not relevant for us. There's nothing in Hinduism for us that is of any value. And we don't want to have anything to do with Hinduism. It's just sort of a vestige from the past, a relic that our parents, our older generation simply keep pursuing out of some sense of nostalgia. They build all these magnificent temples, but these temples are not relevant for us at all. Okay. And this sentiment that they get trained in, that they get sort of socialized into, has got everything to do with the intense animosity, hatred, hostility that the mainstream academia in the US exhibit towards Hinduism. The two are connected. Whether it's a matter of whether we understand it or not, it is very important. It is very important that we understand the connection. So we'll get into this much more deeply in the course. Orientation. I don't have the time to create all of this in much more detail here. But in the remaining time that I have, right, I will share with you what progress we have made and do it very quickly. Okay. I hope you can all see my screen. Yeah.
Yes, Ji.
Okay. So now I should say 7 years. This is a little dated, but here is the progress. Okay. Hindu University of America. We now have one college, the California College of Ayurveda, which is based in Nevada City, California. We have about 15 programs of study. We have about 270 courses in our catalog. We have 950 plus students who are active at HUA, who register every quarter. We have about 7,000 total students who have taken courses at HUA, NCCA together, 75 plus faculty who are teaching at HUA. We have 70,000 marketing contacts or prospective students in our marketing database. We have 35 administrative staff. We have two campuses, one in Orlando and one in Florida, one in California, Nevada City, California. We generate about $2.5 million in revenues annually. If you look at the last year statement, and our expenses are around $4 million, which leaves a shortfall of about 1.5 million that we have to raise every year to sustain the university. Student growth, if you look at the, over 6 years, I've plotted the graph. There are two. There's an orange line, which orange bar, which implies total course registrations, and the blue line, which is total program enrollments. So, as you can see, over the long period, there has been sustained growth in the university. But is it enough? No, it is not. I would like to see this quadruple. We should have 4 times the number of students in the university. And my appeal to all of you is help us with growing this university. So we received several donations. Tarsadia Foundation gave us $1 million in spring of 2021. Dharma Civilization Foundation completed its $1 million gift in winter of 22. Ramesh Buttada Family Foundation from Houston completed its gift of $1 million in fall of 23. Agarwal Gupta Family Foundation completed a gift of $2 million in spring of 2024. And then Asha and Sajjan Agarwal Family Foundation gave us $1 million. We've raised about $11 million so far in the last 7 years. Our current programs in the graduate division, we have Master of Arts in Sanskrit, Master of Arts in Hindu Studies, Doctor of Hindu Studies, the Mahabharata certificate, Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in Hindu Studies, MDiv in Hindu Studies, which is under development. Mostly it's MDiv in Hindu Chaplaincy, which we are going to launch. And in the community education division, we have certificate programs in Hindu Studies, Sanskrit Proficiency, Bhagavad Gita, Spoken Sanskritam, Civilizational Studies, Ayurveda programs, Yoga Studies, etc., etc. We did have an opportunity as a team to present HUA to Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the fall of 2024, in September, when he had come to address the United Nations General Assembly. And on the sidelines of that, he had a public event in Madison, not in Madison, sorry, in Long Island, New York. And one evening, after the program was over in the morning, in his hotel, we got a chance to meet with him. We spent about 30 minutes with him. And, we shared about the university with him, and he had a lot of ideas and suggestions. So it's a very productive meeting. So this is Dr. Jashwant Patel in this picture, standing next to Prime Minister Modi. He is the current chairman of the board of Hindu University of America. Dr. Jashwant Patel is based in San Luis Obispo in California. This is Brahmaratan Agarwal, one of our top benefactors for the university. This is Sajjan Agarwal, that's me. So this is our current campus. It's located on a 300-acre property in a place called Grove Land near Orlando. This is the look of the main office. This is the, administrative office. This is a puja ceremony where we are inaugurating the facility. Some of the members of the community in the audience. And this is a day on which the campus became a reality. Okay. So it's a very nice property. It's a little bit away, 1 hour west of Orlando, place called Grove Land. And I invite all of you to come and visit sometime, take a retreat, come and experience the university. After all, this university began with the Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America, and you should all be very proud of what has been developing in the last several years. We do a lot of retreat-based courses. Some pictures from those courses. Some more retreat-based courses, Sanskritam-based courses. And this is a picture looking out from the administrative building. This is a campus. Of course, 300 acres, a lot of it is empty. It's all empty space. The buildings are all very small relative to the overall size of the property. And you can enjoy the, rural, rustic environment also. So we held the Waves conference in September 2024 at this facility. Here are some pictures from that. Some of our faculty and people participating. We have launched something called the Bhagavad Gita Pariksha for young students. We have held it now in North Carolina and Minnesota, and this year we are going to do it in Dallas, Fort Worth also. So slowly this Pariksha, Bhagavad Gita Pariksha, is becoming a viable way of engaging the younger generation. And there are prizes, prize distribution, and so on. And this is not for chanting, okay? This is for in-depth philosophical understanding of the message of the Gita. And we also have a course called Growing Up with the Gita, which students can take to prepare for this exam. So these are pictures from the Bhagavad Gita Pariksha. We would like to see all the mandirs, like spelling bee is so popular. We like to see all the 1,900 mandirs in America to hold an annual Bhagavad Gita Pariksha for the younger generation, and we very actively help in supporting this and enabling this. I'll share more about it, later on. We've had several events recognizing our donors. This is Ramesh Butadaji from Houston. This is Ved Nandaji, who's no more with us. Some of our board of trustee members. Rameshji gave $1 million on that occasion. This is a member. We had more than 500 people in the audience at that event. This is Bhikkhu Patel from Los Angeles. He gave $1 million to HUA through his Terceria Foundation. This is Mark Halpern addressing the audience. This is a picture from Atlanta. We have launched a course called Being Hindu in the Emerging World Order for young people in preparation for going into internships at Capitol Hill. And we've done this in partnership with Utsav Chakravarti from Hindu Action, is what he calls his organization. This has been very popular. So in New Jersey, we had an event last year called HUA Samvada. So these are some pictures from that program. A section of the audience. This is a CCA campus in California. It's a place called Nevada City. When you go from Sacramento to Lake Tahoe, on the way, about midway, on the California side of the border, there is a small town called Nevada City. That's where our California College of Ayurveda campus is located. And these are some pictures from the campus. This is a front view of the main entrance of the campus. We offer several programs, plus professional certifications in Ayurveda. Now, the interesting thing is, the California College of Ayurveda is run mostly by Westerners, by white Americans. But they're very Hindu in their character, Dharmic in their character. A lot of workshops and seminars from the CCA. We are launching a product line through CCA called Ayurveda Botanicals, IBO. And this is, the person who's managing it. Her name is Brenda Kulikowski, and she manages all these products coming out of IBO. We are supporting clinical consultations from CCA with a digital AI based platform, which we are developing. We're just launching it. We're doing a pilot, and we hope that this will help in Ayurveda-based research by digitizing data and putting together a lot of information about treatments and benefits that patients are accruing. And we want to be able to publish a lot of papers from this research information. We have a podcast facility at CCA, and we are connecting deeply with the alumni network who have come out of the California College of Ayurveda. The pillars of HUA are today Hindu studies, Sanskrit studies, Ayurveda, and integrative health. There is another university called VAYU, Vivekananda Yoga University, which has grown independently in parallel. I actually believe that these two universities have to be integrated at some point in time. And we are beginning conversations for the possibility of merging these two institutions so that we end up with one significant substantive institution rather than multiple small institutions. If you look at the next 25 years, what do we want to create? Well, we have got this California College of Ayurveda now. The VAYU should really become a school of yoga studies. We want to create Arthashastra studies, performing arts, media and mass communication studies, very important. Hindu education, School of Hindu Education for fixing the curriculum across the board, standardization of curriculum, standardization of material. Institute of Advanced Studies for interdisciplinary research work, Center for Conflict and Peace, Center for Postcolonial Hindu Studies, Sustainable Development Studies, Leadership School, Yoga Psychology and Counseling, Chaplaincy, Family, Gender Studies, study of Hindu phobia, and projects like Digital Archives, University of HUA Press, Reconstructing Hindu History, Research Program, Library and Manuscript Archives, Hindu University in America, Films and Documentaries Division, etc. These are all ideas we have for the future. And of course, it's a big vision, big aspiration, big dream. And naturally, it requires a lot of support and money to realize all these things. In the next 5 years, we want to get HUA accredited by a Higher Learning Commission. We want to acquire the CCA campus, which is a leased campus right now. We want to stabilize the financials of HUA and CCA, potential merger of VAYU with HUA. We want to build an endowment fund for HUA with $60 to $100 million, primarily through legacy gifts, if possible. Legacy means people who have made a lot of money and were willing to write a will saying that after my passing away, I would like to give 10% or 20% of my estate to Hindu University of America. That's how endowments get built. That's how we want to build it. And then launch new initiatives in research around Ayurveda, new programs of study. And we want to engage a lot of new high-value donors to come on board because this institution is now believable. It's not a fanciful thing. It's real. It's doing real work. It's made a lot of progress. Now is a good time for new donors to come on board. The next 5 years promise to bring many exciting new milestones. Okay, so that is the whole presentation. I will now pause and take a few questions. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you, Kalyanji. So we can now open it up to questions. Please, if you can limit your question to one per person, that would be great in the interest of time.
Kalyanji Pankaj, Dr. Pankaj Parikh from Raleigh,
Pankaj
North
ji,
Carolina,
namaste.
and welcome there. So good to connect back again to you,
Yeah.
and I really learned a lot from this short but sweet presentation. A lot of information, no question about that. And I
Yeah.
have taken his course on several courses, but I started with the first one he mentioned about the orientation to Hindu studies. And I tell you, it opened up the eyes of not only myself, but many others, including Sajan Agrawal, who took with me at that time. So absolutely worthwhile.
Yeah.
I may come back to my original point. You rightly mentioned that the upcoming generation we are losing very clearly, and I see it every day in what I come across.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, tens of thousands of students all over the nation are going to Hindu schools. And each of the Hindu schools resolutely are refusing to add the information that HUA is bringing in their school curriculum. It is all about Vedanta and all about shlokas and all about morality and ethics, but none about the history, none about the happenings in India and abroad. They just don't want to comment it. Unless we touch that, we have lost the generations time and again.
Right.
I would let you comment on that part. If how are we going to change that mindset?
Yeah. So, it's very interesting. See, I just had a meeting with the Hindu Mandir at Livermore in California. Okay. When I say I had a meeting like 2 hours ago, I had a meeting 2 hours ago at Livermore with some of the key members of the board of trustees, committee, etc., etc. Now, these are people who are so deeply committed to the preservation and protection of our Dharma in the United States of America. No doubt about it. And they're all, they are retired now, but they're all engineers. They are scientists, engineers, people who came in the 60s and 70s, made their careers in the US, did extremely well, were very successful, and now they are serving on boards of various mandirs. And Livermore Temple being one of the largest mandirs in America. I hope you all know the Livermore Hindu Temple, right? Now, what I see as a key issue in their efforts to connect with the younger generation, they're losing connection. See, the kids drift away in the middle school onwards. When they're younger, they're okay. You can teach them to chant slokas. You can put them through chanting competitions. You can do all kinds of things with them, and they happily participate when they're young. Okay. They go to middle school, they encounter subjects like world civilizations, world history, cultures, comparative study of world cultures, and so on and so forth. And that is when the trouble begins for them. And they start wondering, they start comparing what they have learned about their own culture from their parents through their temple or whatever, Chinmaya Mission, Balavihar, Balvikas, Baladatta, Balagokulam, Balajyoti, whatever, what a Bala program there are, whatever they are learning there, they start comparing it with what they are learning in school about themselves. And they are encountering a totally different narrative in school. And that narrative that they are encountering in school, it paints the Hindu people, Hindu culture, Hindu civilization as very, very ancient, very, very old. That, it might have had a lot of relevance and validity a long time ago. But it's the ideas of that civilization have been long ago superseded by new, modern, innovative ideas and thoughts. So, in this paradigm of progressivism, right, what happens is Hinduism, Hindu Dharma, Sanatana Dharma starts to recede in their consciousness as something not that does not belong to their future. It might have belonged to their past, but no longer to their future. And this idea we are not able to combat. When I say combat, meaning our community, we are not able to address this problem. It cannot be addressed by doing more puja, more rituals, more visits to the temple, more yajna, more competitions, more music, more dance. None of it counters this idea that Hinduism belongs to humanity's past, not to its future, in a paradigm of progressivism. So these elderly people, in their efforts to try to make Hinduism relevant, what are they doing? They try to connect it with science. They think, and I'm sure many of you also think that, the validity of Hinduism will come only if it is shown to be scientific, if it is validated in the light of science and technology, which is the most prestigious thing we have in our modern world. And the gap here is a lot of the problems that we are facing, the Hindu community is facing, is not coming from science, it's not coming from technology, it's coming from the humanities. It's coming from history, it's coming from anthropology, it's coming from sociology, in religious studies, in philosophy, in psychology, and on, political science, and so on. And our Hindu community's capacity to participate in these domains is very, very weak because we have had a history, several decades now, of privileging science and technology and medicine and business and economics and entrepreneurship, etc. And we don't have a very high view, of the humanities, the liberal arts, and social sciences. So the generation of the people who are managing our Hindu mandirs across the board, I'm talking about, they understand religion, they understand ritual, they understand the performative side of Hindu Dharma in the form of yajna and puja and homa, abhisheka, form of yatra, in the form of festivals and other things. And they understand science and technology and engineering and medicine and how to have a successful secular life. They understand that. But there is a huge gap in our community when it comes to dealing with the humanities and social sciences. And that is where all the negativity about Hinduism is originating from. And unless we study that, unless we understand that, we will not be able to address it. So parents are at a loss as to what to say to the younger generation that would properly counter the intense, what you call acculturation that they are getting from their middle school years in schools, and then it continues in college. So this is a very serious issue, and unless we invest the time and energy to understand the problem more fully, it will be very difficult for us to deal with this problem. And the existing mandirs, the mandir infrastructure that we've got, 1,900 mandirs in America, they're all largely first generation Hindu institutions. They cater to the needs and wants and desires of the first generation, the immigrant generation. And they are struggling to be relevant to the second generation. And it's my considered view that the Hindu mandirs in America, across the board, should undergo a deep transformation in order to be relevant and appropriate for the second generation Hindu community. And education is a very critical part of it. And this is what I'm talking about is a very, very difficult transformation. I mean, I don't think we even understand the problem properly. But I would say, all of you, please come to the orientation to Hindu studies class, and we will look at these questions much more in depth in the class, because I think Hindus should understand this problem. The fracture across between the generations, the rupture between the immigrant generation and the new generation growing up in America, that rupture, we have to understand that rupture, the nature of that rupture. If we don't understand it, we'll keep coming up with solutions that don't really work for the younger generation. And this, I think, is probably the most important issue in front of the Hindu community at this time. Pankajji, you're absolutely right. So I validate your perspective.
If I may suggest as a corollary to that, if you could invite the main leader of each of the Hindu school nationwide to attend that course, and I can tell Sajanji or somebody to support it if necessary, that would be the least starting point. If the leader of this education committee, each of them, like in Raleigh, we have a Gurukul where the leader, I know him. So if they attend it, maybe once they are convinced, they may be able to influence the juniors that this is conceptually it is worthwhile.
Yeah. Now, and I also want to point out that it's not easy to convince people to take courses at HUA, and that's one of our difficulties. because people either think education is only for the younger generation, they don't need to get educated, okay? Or they think they already know what they need to know. I mean, I don't know what else am I going to learn from HUA. And I probably know everything already there is to know that I need to know for my life. And maybe they are right also. For their life, they know everything there is to know. But I believe that if you want to be a responsible, respectable, and impactful Hindu religious leader in North America today, a much deeper education in Hindu studies is necessary. Because the gap is in the first generation itself. Our knowledge itself is limited and constrained by various ideas, opinions, and perspectives that we have inherited from prior generations. So, therefore, this is the opportunity for HUA, and I would seek Vishwa Hindu Parishad's full engagement in this matter. Yeah. Any other question, anybody?
Thank you, Kalyanji. I know we're 10:04. We are way past our time, and I know everyone has multiple questions that they would like to ask. So we wanted would you like to take another question, or we can have people write their questions and send it out to you?
I mean, I don't mind. It's your call, Aditya ji. If you want to be responsible for the time, we can end now. It's okay. I can go on for some more time, but it's up to you.
Vallabhaji?
Sorry, I have a question. This is Nangali Srinivasa from Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir.
Briefly, Mr. Vishwanathan, great presentation. I think you hit many points, particularly in response to the last question.
Yeah.
So there are other issues. A lot of the temples have a commercial aspect too. They just want to, cater to the need of doing certain pujas and get the revenue, expand. So that's one of their missions. And education, as you rightly pointed out, is not the mission of the adults. Third, the people who take up the education committee, they themselves have no idea. They just come there, do some volunteer work for a year or two, and then leave. So there is a real need for educating the adults themselves, and in this sphere, I think the Chinmaya mission, they're doing human service, both educating the adults and the children. So that's the model which should be adopted by all the other temples too. And there is a big divide, as you know, among the Hindus. The very fact that the university in California, what you brought up, the Hindus themselves, suggested to go back and close the memorandum of understanding which you had signed with the university. So there's a big gap among Hindus. They're like the descendants of Yadavas who fought with each other after the Bharata War, and the whole Vamsha, Yadu Vamsha, perished. That's exactly what I know. I'm saying in every temple, this is the story, that there is a tug of war between two factions.
Yeah.
So there are certain practical issues. It's going to be hard. And then some of our, sages, gurus, so-called gurus, they don't help it either. Recently in South India, there is this big Vaishnava, Shaiva kind of a, differentiation which one of the gurus brought up. And it is a big thing in the televisions in southern India. So we have deep-rooted problems, as you rightly point out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have all those challenges to meet. We have to meet those challenges, internal as well as external.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll just take a few. Kumuji has been having her hand up. Kumu Gupta.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking a way to solve this thing with the middle school and the students learning things in school is for more and more parents to get involved with the school committee and sort of, influence the syllabus and introduce the right courses, because I had written to the Secretary of Education a while ago about this, and they said their attitude, not attitude, but their answer was that it really belongs on the parent school level. Like they cannot say anything to the school system. So I think if more and more parents get involved in going on the school committee, I think that's one way to bring these courses in. So thank you.
Vallabhaji.
No, great conversations going on, and I highly recommend Srinivasa ji, Kumuji, and all the people on this call. Definitely join with the Hindu University of America and also with HMEC. Every year during HMEC, there is a dedicated section which talks about all the balas, as Kalyan ji said, Bal Vihar, Bal Mukund, or whatever the Bal Gokulam, whatever programs that is there. We do have high level thinking and strategy conversations that happens. How to integrate, how to harmonize everything. Therein we can bring certain changes that we want to see nationwide. So my request to all the members in this team or this group, you have carved out time to be present to this presentation, or listen to Kalyanji, and you have wonderful thoughts. Please join hands. We will do something substantial and move the needle when it comes to the next generation. So thank you all. I request Anita ji to close this session, and thank you, Kalyan ji, once again, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you.
Vallabhaji. I'll request Tejal Shah ji, who's the president of VHPA, to give her vote of thanks to Kalyan ji. And Tejal Shah. Tejal ji, you are muted.
Yep, sorry. Namaste, Kalyanji. Thank you very much for being here with us today and walking all of us through the history. It is very important, as Pankajji pointed out. We should know the local history as well as the history of Bharat. Of course, for our second generation, it's important. But HUA history to be learned by many here today, and thank you for doing that. HMEC and HUA goes long way. Every year, HUA is our the diamond sponsor for Hindu Mandir Empowerment Council. So I really appreciate the support coming from the HUA team, and we wish the good luck, I would say, on this auspicious day today of the New Year being celebrated in Bharat by many regions and states locally. So we are committed. Will continue working with HUA. And for all the aspects, I'm very happy to hear that you are also working to bring the Yoga University under the fold of HUA. So we are here to collaborate for every instant. One thing I would like to just point out, Kalyanji mentioned about the HUA struggle in the beginning, and that struggle is not over yet. That struggle continue. If you have come across the WhatsApp post or any message that was sent by VHP America today about the Hindi books program that got some challenges in the state of Maryland, Montgomery County in specific, we have had contributed and collaborated with local organizations and our usual opponents. They have made their way successfully to cancel the launch program for these Hindi books. So there is a one-click email being circulated among all of us across Hindu community members, and we are appealing to send out that one-click email to Montgomery County Council as well as the library officers. So that way we get their attention. We want to make sure that they understand who VHPA is and who we are, and we are very inclusive and very committed community for the betterment of tomorrow. So if you have not received that, I would request Niyati Ben to send that out information to all of us, and that way we can take our action to inform the Montgomery County Council and the library. Thank you so much again, everybody, to be here with us. Dhanyavad.
Namaste.